Hi, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Adam. Today, we're talking about something that confuses so many English learners: the difference between British and American English.
That's right. You can spend years learning English, watching movies, and doing exercises. You feel totally ready.
At least, I thought I was. I'll never forget my first trip to London. The first thing you notice when you land isn't the rain or the red buses, it's your own confidence.
You felt prepared?
Totally prepared. I walked into this classic, cozy looking cafe near King's Cross. The smell of coffee and baked goods was in the air. I thought, this is it, my moment to shine. I stepped up to the counter, gave the barista my most charming smile, and said with all the confidence I could fake, "Hi, could I get a coffee and a biscuit, please?"
Okay, sounds perfectly normal to me.
The barista, a friendly guy with a beard, smiled back. "A biscuit?" Right away. He turned, grabbed a pair of tongs, and picked up a scone.
A scone? Not a cookie?
Exactly. It was this plain, floury thing that looked suspiciously like what we call a biscuit back home, the kind you'd have with gravy. He placed it on a plate and pushed it toward me. I just stared at it, then back at him. My brain just completely stalled.
Oh no! What did you say?
I think I just mumbled, I thought. He looked at the scone, then at my confused face, and it clicked for him. "Ah," he said, his smile widening. "You're not from around here, are you?"
And that's the moment.
That was the moment I realized that speaking English and speaking English in England were two very, very different things.
So that one moment with the biscuit was the start of it all?
It opened the floodgates. My friendly barista, Tom, kindly explained that in the UK, a biscuit is a hard, sweet treat, what I would call a cookie.
Right. And the savory, fluffy thing you associate with the word biscuit is much closer to a British scone. So that was your first lesson.
Exactly. Lesson 1. Vocabulary is everything. So, energized by my coffee and the cookie I eventually got, I decided to explore. But my day of confusion was just getting started. I finished my drink and looked around for the trash can.
Let me guess. You couldn't find one?
I couldn't see one. So, I went back to Tom. "Excuse me?" I asked. "Where's the trash can?" He gave me that same look, a friendly, patient sort of confusion. "The trash can?" he repeated. "Oh, you mean the bin. It's just over there."
So in the UK, rubbish goes in the bin. You instantly marked yourself as a tourist.
Instantly. My next challenge was the London Underground, the famous tube. Getting on was easy. Getting out was a philosophical question. I followed the signs for the way out.
It does sound dramatic, doesn't it? Like a path to enlightenment.
I half expected to emerge on a different plane of existence. But it turns out, it just means exit. Americans say exit. Brits say way out.
Okay, so you're feeling a little defeated at this point.
A little deflated, yes. I decided I needed a bathroom. I walked into this beautiful old pub, all dark wood and brass taps, found a staff member and asked, "Hi, where's your restroom?" He just gave me a blank stare.
Oh no, another one!
I tried again. "The bathroom?" A little bit of recognition, but he looked confused, probably thinking I wanted to have an actual bath. Finally, I gave in. "The toilet?"
And that worked?
"Ah, the loo!" he exclaimed, finally understanding. "Down the stairs, on your left." The loo. In the UK, restroom is rarely used, and bathroom is for bathing. You ask for the toilet, or, more colloquially, the loo.
The final test of your London morning must have been coming.
It was. Buying a sandwich. There was a small shop with a crowd of people outside. In America, we'd call it a line. I just went to the back of the group. A woman turned to me with this tight-lipped expression. "Excuse me," she said, with that special brand of British politeness that feels like being scolded. "The queue starts back there."
You had jumped the queue. The most British of sins.
I had. In Britain, you don't stand in line, you queue. And you do it with an unspoken, almost religious reverence. As I stood in the proper queue, I noticed everyone was wearing what I would call a sweater.
But you had learned your lesson by then, I hope.
I had. I discreetly Googled it. And sure enough, in Britain, it's a jumper. This also made me think about pronunciation. Listening to people, I noticed how they dropped the ER sound. It wasn't car park, but car park.
That's a feature called non-rheticity. It's a hallmark of many standard British accents, where the R is only pronounced if a vowel sound comes after it.
My brain was buzzing. It wasn't even lunchtime, and I felt like I needed a complete software update.
So a week later, you flew to New York. You must have felt like an expert by then.
I felt like a seasoned veteran. I'd survived London. I had learned the secret code. Loo, not restroom. Queue, not line. Jumper, not sweater. I was, once again, dangerously confident. This time, I thought, I'll blend right in.
Where did you go first?
A classic New York hot dog stand. The steam, the sizzling onions. It was perfect. I ordered my hot dog, and then, with a smug little smile, I asked the vendor, "And a bag of crisps, please."
Oh, Adam, no.
The vendor, a man who looked like he'd heard it all, just stared at me. "A what?" "Crisps," I repeated, a little louder, pointing at the bags of Lay's potato chips. "You know, crisps."
What did he do?
He squinted. "You mean chips?" I said, "No, not chips. Crisps." My confidence was starting to wobble. He just shrugged, grabbed a bag of Lay's, and took my money, muttering, "Whatever you say, pal."
So you learned the hard way. In the US, crisps are chips.
And what the British call chips, those thick, hot, fried potatoes you get with fish, are French fries in America. I had learned the British rule, only to find it was the complete opposite here.
And it didn't stop there, I bet.
My next mistake was even more embarrassing. I hailed a yellow cab, and as the driver got out to help with my suitcase, I said with an air of authority, "Just pop it in the boot, thanks."
Oh my gosh. What did he say?
He stopped, hand on the trunk, and looked at me like I'd just asked him to perform a magic trick. "The boot?" he asked, his New York accent making the words sound even more alien. "You want me to put your suitcase in a shoe?"
He had you there?
My face went red. I mumbled, "The back of the car." "The trunk," he said, a grin spreading across his face. "Sure thing, the trunk." Then he pointed to the front of the car. "And this here," he said, tapping the hood, "is the hood, not the bonnet."
A 2-for-1 lesson in automotive humiliation.
Exactly. That cab driver, a fast-talking, cheerful guy named Mike, became my unofficial New York English tutor for the 15-minute ride. He found my confusion hilarious.
So what was his advice?
"Listen, kid," he said. "It's simple. Here, you get French fries with your burger, and you eat potato chips from a bag. Got it?" I nodded, furiously taking mental notes. "And your suitcase," he continued, "goes in the trunk, at the back. The engine is under the hood, at the front."
Simple, when you know how. What else did he teach you?
He pointed at the concrete path and said, "This is the sidewalk. I hear you guys call it the pavement, right?" I confirmed. "In Britain, the path you walk on is the pavement. In America, you walk on the sidewalk."
That's a good one. If you tell a New Yorker you're walking on the pavement, they'll think you're strolling through traffic.
My education continued all day. I met a friend who lived in a lovely apartment on the Upper West Side. In London, that would have been a flat.
And did you learn about floor numbering? That confuses a lot of people.
Yes, In the UK, you enter on the ground floor, and the next one up is the first floor. But in the US, the street level floor is the first floor. A small detail that can cause so much confusion.
But there's one word that is probably the most dangerous of all.
I found it. I was shopping and picked up some dark blue jeans. The cashier smiled and said, "Nice pants." I smiled back, but inside, my brain short-circuited.
Because in British English, pants means underwear.
Exactly. Calling someone's trousers pants is a very personal comment. In America, pants is the common term for what you wear on your legs. It's the most famous trap.
And what about grammar? Mike the cabbie mentioned a difference there too, right?
He did. He'd asked, "Did you eat lunch yet?" In London, it would have been, "Have you eaten lunch yet?" British English often uses the present perfect for recent past actions, while American English often prefers the simple past.
And then there's the famous case of gotten,
Right. In Britain, the past participle of get is got, as in, he's got much better at English. In America, it's often gotten. He's gotten much better at English. Using gotten in the UK can sound a bit old-fashioned.
and finally, the sounds themselves are different.
I started noticing the American flap T, where a T between two vowels softens into a D sound. Water becomes water.
Which is a world away from the British glottal stop, where the T is almost swallowed. So water sounds more like wo. These tiny phonetic details are the subtle music that makes each accent unique.
So, after my whirlwind tour of confusion, I realized I needed a system, a cheat sheet, a survival guide to prevent future embarrassment.
Let's break it down for everyone. First up, clothing. This one is tricky.
In the UK, you wear a jumper. In the US, it's a sweater.
What you wear on your legs are trousers in the UK. In the US, they're pants.
And be careful, in the UK, pants are your underwear.
On your feet, you'll wear trainers in Britain, but they become sneakers in America.
Next up, food. The source of my first mistake. A sweet, baked, circular treat is a cookie in the US, not a UK biscuit, which is a harder cracker-like snack.
And thin, salty bagged potato snacks are crisps in the UK and chips in the US.
While hot, thick-cut fried potatoes are chips in the UK and French fries in the US.
And don't forget vegetables. The vegetable Americans call an eggplant is an aubergine in the UK, and a zucchini in the US is a courgette in the UK.
Third, getting around. This is crucial for not getting lost. In the UK, you put luggage in the boot of the car. In the US, it goes in the trunk.
The front of the car is the bonnet in the UK and the hood in the US.
You walk on the pavement in the UK and the sidewalk in the US.
A Brit takes a lift to the top floor. An American takes an elevator. And you look for petrol in the UK, but gas in the US.
Finally, everyday places and things. You live in a flat in London, but an apartment in New York.
You throw garbage in a bin in the UK. In the US, it's a trash can.
You go to a chemist for medicine in the UK, but a drugstore or pharmacy in the US.
In the UK, you stand in a queue. In the US, you wait in a line.
And if you need the toilet, you can ask for the loo in Britain. In America, you're better off asking for the restroom.
Knowing these differences isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about connecting with people.
It shows you've made an effort. It turns a moment of embarrassment into a conversation. And that's Adam's story. It was a journey of making mistakes, learning on the fly, and finally understanding the beautiful and sometimes frustrating differences between these two versions of English. Now, we want to hear from you.
What's the most confusing British or American word you've ever come across?
Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one, and we would love to hear your stories.
In the end, language isn't just about words in a book. It's about people, culture, and connection. The gap between British and American English is a perfect example of that.
So whether you're learning color with a U or color without one, just embrace the differences. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this and want more tips to help you master English, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, keep learning.